let's move on to some other stories this afternoon. And 12,000 hectares of cocoa land have been traded off for artisanal small-scale mining in the Amansia West District in the Ashanti region, and that's between 2010 and 2020 alone. That's according to research findings by Tropimbos International, a Ghanaian-based eco-conscious research group. Lead researcher Isaac Nunu says the research established most farmers who sell their cocoa lands to the miners are impoverished over time. It further established that food insecurity among residents in mining communities is rather high. Isaac Nunu will be joining us shortly, but first, here's a report from my colleague Erastus Asaridonko.
Anyinamso number 1 and 2 are twin farming communities recently taken over by mining in the Achumangwabieja district of Ashanti. The entire river belt of the river Anyinam has been taken over and destroyed by illegal miners, even as the government's Operation Halt fights mining close to water bodies across the country.
So this is what remains of the river Anyinam. It has been stopped right here, and the miners are now digging deep within the riverbed itself. And so it is denying farmers here water to water their crops and even use it to spray their cocoa farms. And as you can see, the riverbed has been blocked here, and so definitely when it starts raining, there's going to be a huge overflow which will destroy their cocoa farms over to the other side.
Cocoa farms are bought by miners for between 10,000 and 25,000 cedis. Those who will not sell, like Boache Mensa, sometimes find themselves cut out from their farms by the miners.
They
are frustrating us to force us to sell our farms, but we won't, because it's a legacy for us and our children's children. Some farmers are incensed with illegal mining activities here.
We are appealing
to government. The Chinese are destroying cocoa farms. Every mined area here used to be a cocoa farm that could have served our country well. But some of the miners claim they are operating legitimately even in the middle of the river. Thomas Arthur claims he works for a licensed mining company.
Small-scale mineral commission for the Nayak company.
This is a small-scale mining site awarded to Nayak by the Minerals Commission, and we are working with them. It extends to Kukubiso and Ekradada. For the destruction to the river, we came to meet it. Close to the main Nkarie Bebiani road, miners are busily digging close to the asphalt. Also, within the Anyinamso number 2 township, some Chinese miners are boldly mining away with huge equipment. Until the government intervenes, farmers and cocoa farms are at great risk of mining. Reporting for JoyNews, Erastus Asaridonko, Anyinamso, Ashanti region.
Let me now bring in Isaac Nunu, a lead researcher at Tropimbos International. They've done some extensive research on the impact of small-scale mining in the Ashanti region. We're grateful for your time here on The Pulse. So you have done some extensive work. I've seen what my colleague Erastus Asaridonko has also done. But really, I'm worried watching the scenes from Erastus Asaridonko's report. Is there no remedy at all? 25,000 cedis is how much they're paying some cocoa farmers to give off their farm, and they're readily doing so. What really is the situation? It appears that the connection there to Isaac Nunu there is just frozen, but I'm hoping that we could rectify that, because this is a very important discussion that we're hoping to get some further insight into. Chopimbos. They've done some work on this, and we've seen the scenes from Anyinamso. Should I try again? Do we have him? Okay, let's try again via phone. Ms. Anuno, thank you so much. We're hoping we could do you via Zoom, but we'll make do with the phone lines. So give us an insight into what exactly is the situation. Erasmus's report reveals that 25,000 cedis is all some of the farmers are offered, and they readily give it away because of the impact of small-scale mining. How dire is the situation?
If I got you right, and thank you very much for having me. If I got you right, people are really giving out their farms out, especially cocoa farmers.
Exactly.
When you come to the Amansia West specifically, when you're talking about cocoa in Ashanti region, Amansia West probably happens to be among the first 5, if not one, the top 2. And a lot of these farmers are really giving out their farms for sale for small-scale mining, of which the situation is on the rise from 2010 through to 2020, and to date is still going up.
Yeah, okay, but it's still going up, but is there really a remedy to this particular situation? Because I was telling you that 25,000 cedis and they're giving it away. But from your research, is there really something that can be done to remedy the situation beyond the stopping of these illegal mining?
Sure. Okay, so based on the research, what we found out is that one of the things that can be done is to mark some cocoa growing areas as the red zone areas, which shouldn't be touched by miners or given out for concession or being sold to miners for mining activities. Because if these things are done, if these things are earmarked as red zones, then there will be the need to protect them. Otherwise, these cocoa farms are owned by individuals, and since they need the money, they can easily sell it out. But if they've been earmarked as red zone areas, so if they mark places, special places, cocoa-dominated areas, as these areas are red zone, which are banned from mining activity, I think it can help out. Also, there should be the enforcement of the reclamation policy. As part of the concession agreement, miners are supposed to reclaim land after they've mined. And this is one of the things they use in deceiving some of the facts, that after mining, so they give out their land. It happens that it doesn't never occur. They don't really reclaim their land for them. After mining and testing their gold, they vanish from the community. So there should be enforcement that should see to it that everyone that is getting access to land is reclaiming those land. Okay. And also, people are giving, these farmers are also giving out because they see that cocoa isn't yielding much and it's not giving them much profit. And every rational person is in for profit. So the Cocoa Board as an institution should really intensify education and also support cocoa farmers so that they can get the maximum out of their yield. Comparing Ghana to countries like Cote d'Ivoire, Indonesia, which are is very young when it comes to cocoa production, the per hectare yield for Ghana compared to these countries are very low, very low. You see, so losing such amount of land is really going to have an impact on the economy.
Okay.
So,
well, I've seen what Erasmus has done, but I'm interested in the research findings of Chopimbos International, really. So okay. I was asking, how serious is the situation? We're talking about recommendations, but per the research you did on the ground, how serious, how dire is the situation as we are faced with?
Now between 2010, the research was actually looking at using the remote sensing to assess how much of land has been lost between 2010 in just Amansia West alone. And we were concentrating on cocoa because it's an economic crop to the nation. And we found out that over 12,000 hectares of cocoa land has been lost to the country, has been lost as a result of small-scale mining, which is very big. It is very huge. Now, if we are doing some little mathematics, Ghana is making around 400 kilograms of cocoa per hectare. And having 400 kilograms cocoa per hectare multiplied by 12,000 hectares, that is huge amount of cocoa that has been lost over the past 10 years. So a lot of cocoa farms have been lost, and a lot of livelihood has been displaced because these people depend on cocoa as their main source of livelihood. So now that the cocoa farms have been taken away from them, they have to be displaced. And they have to move out of the town, probably looking for non-existing jobs. And also, food is becoming very scarce in this town, especially in Anyinamso West, where initially we used to know that food was transported from villages, rural communities, or rural towns to cities to be sold. Now, it's now the river where food is being sent back to the villages from the cities to be sold to them. And it is very, very serious. That needs to be something that the result, the research found out.
Okay.
So the research also found out that these people are really, they don't getting much from the cocoa, so they are just giving it out. And it's also something that found out from the research.
So this particular research is only focused on the Ashanti region, the Anyinamso West District to be precise, right?
Exactly.
And we are hoping to extend it to other regions?
Sure. We're hoping to scale it up to other cocoa-dominated regions to see the impact this small-scale mining is also having on cocoa production specifically.
But you get a sense that there's been an intervention on this situation?
The intervention I've seen the government made is the use of the current machine, the gold catcher, which is preventing people from using mercury in their mining, because the use of mercury is also very critical. Now the EU has become concerned about the chemicals that is used in mining and associated effect on the cocoa beans. So what I see the government do, which 2 months ago the government gave non-gold, non-mercury machines, gold recovery machines to some small-scale miners to use in recovering gold. So if one of the things is when they promoted the use of this machine, unfortunately, these machines are very expensive, and these small-scale miners are not able to buy. But the research was using a model to know if these people could buy using an experiment to determine how they can come about getting this machine. So pushing this machine for gold recovery could help, and also supporting farmers. I know Cocoa Board is helping farmers restore some of this land, and through this too, I know it's things that are being done to help. But the project also did some restoration of some of the mine sites, and the results is proving very positive. So restoration of this mine site by the town themselves or district assemblies could be something that could be done also in these communities.
No, we're indeed grateful. That's Isaac Nuno, lead researcher at Tropimbos International, and we'll be looking at the cocoa sector and reports about cocoa farmers giving off their farmlands for illegal mining, amongst others, because of the impact of these illegal mining on their farms. This is the polls. Still to come, we have our road safety campaign, and the National Road Safety Authority is warning owners of minibuses to fix speed controls in their buses in the next 30 days or risk the complete suspension of the operations intercity. We have details as data shows more than 11,000 minibuses have been involved in crashes from 2018 to 2021.